The first USD Sway skate was released 8 years ago.
In this little section of the promise.
Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. This is the USD Sway Carlos Bernal Pro model and today we're gonna review it. And now before we even start speaking about this skate right here, let me just tell you that this video is sponsored by Bladeville.com. Bladeville is a skate shop that ships worldwide and we have a collaboration where they gave me a code. Right now, at the time that this video is being released, there's a 20% discount on all USD products when you use code Lino. But the products on discount with my code keep on changing. So make sure to check the descriptions of every single one of my videos to see in what product you can get these banger deals with Bladeville.com by using code Lino. So thanks Bladeville by sponsoring the video. And now let's start. And let's start with a disclaimer. These skates were sent to me by USD. I did not pay for the skates. They did send me the skates completely for free, but they are not watching this video before any of you. They have no saying in any of my opinions. And what I'm gonna say in this video are 100% my opinions without any influence from any brand. Now, let's go. So this is the USD Sway Carlos Bernal Pro model. It's a size 42. It was my first time ever trying to downsize a USD Sway skate. I actually skated every single version of the USD Sways, and I've always skated size 43, 44 because the shell, this blue part that you see here, is dual sized. And I am 275 millimeter length. So I always felt like the shell was a bit too spacious for me. So this time I tried to downsize by ordering a 41, 42. And when I first got them, I thought, look, this is gonna be trouble. This is gonna be problems for sure. And truth being said, it ended up correcting some of the problems that I had previously, but I'll get to that later in this video. So going with the feet, for someone with a 275 millimeter length foot, it's short. It feels like my toes eat the front of the skate quite often. But when I use the stock liner, which is a second skin from my feet, it kind of works. Now, this liner, it's much slimmer than other liners on the market. I ended up trying this skate with other liners, but I'll get there in a second too. And by skating this skate with this liner, I was able to downsize. I was able to use the 42 without having my feet eating the front, like the toes eating the front as often. Every now and then, if there would be something with more impact, like landing something like a little bit higher or a little bit steeper, I would still feel my toes. But I think this is something that with time I can go through. What did I change from this skate? from the get-go, the first thing that I changed was the buckle. And it's not because the buckle is bad, honestly. I think the buckle that usually come on these skates and came on the previous versions, it's just a normal cuff that comes on any other skate. But Kaiser, which is the hardware company from Powerslide, who also owns USD, just released this new buckle, which is the top of the tops. I don't even know what to say. It's supposed to be the most innovative thing when it comes to buckles for inline skates. So I wanted to try it, and I tried it right away. I don't think the buckle would affect the skate at all, but I can tell you that it's lower profile, this newer buckle, it's much lower profile. And also, when you hit it from the side, the way that it's built, there's like this thing sticking out in the middle, and it makes it stronger. So when there's like impact, if you miss like a sole trick or something like that, it's not going to twist. So that's really, really good, but it doesn't come stock on this skate. So that was something that I changed from the beginning. On the first session that I had with these skates, I was using the stock wheels. And the stock wheels, this is, I would say, the exact same wheel that come, or that used to come on most USD AN skates. It comes on the AN Pro models. It's a 60mm 89A, and it's a really cool wheel. It's fast. I said it before, as a stock wheel, it's probably one of the best stock wheels on the market. But as a skate that comes in a flat configuration with 4 wheels the same size, with a Fluid 5, I don't think 60mm is too big, but I think the profile of the wheel is a tiny bit too square. I mean, like, it's too much like this. So these lips of the wheel here, these sides of the wheel, made it harder for me to skate. So one of the first skating clips that you see on this video is actually me trying to do a frontside and getting stuck. And that happens because when using the original wheels, you're gonna need to edge more. If you're gonna be doing a front side or a royale, you're gonna need to use more of the edges so that the lip of the wheels don't hit it. So on my second session, I changed it for some dead wheels. I got the 56mm dead wheels, 95A in the middle, 92A in the front and back, and it's slower. I can say that it's slower than the 60mm USD skates, but at the end of the day, I had way less wheel bite. And I don't really think the wheel bite is the big thing, especially with this frame, but I wanted to avoid it, okay? Now, these wheels that I use, they don't have a much different profile. It still has like that lip, but just because it's smaller, the lip ends up being lower, so it's a bit more protected. The bearings that come on these skates originally, they are the Wicked A-Back 9. Nothing to complain. Again, the skates felt really, really fast, and especially on this frame, the Kaiser Fluid 5, it worked really good. I felt like a really fast setup in all senses. Like, I mean, it's fast on rolling, and when I do like royale tricks, it felt fast. It felt really fast too. This is not the carbon infused frame, the super fluid frame. It's not the frame that comes stock, but I didn't felt any problem in terms of speed. I felt like really, really good. Now, I think something that it's interesting also to say is that on these skates, size 42, they come with a, I think it's 248mm length frame, which is quite short for me as a flat frame, but I didn't really felt like it was bad, honestly. But I usually, when I use a flat frame, I tend to go a little bit longer, like from 260 up, more like 270, 265. It really depends on the frame, but I use a bit of like a longer frame. These ones stock on a size 42, it's 248, I think that's it. And when you go to 43 and up, then you have the bigger version of this frame, which is 260 something, 268 or something like that. So it's a longer frame when you go from size 43 and up. But it really worked. I enjoyed that. The sole plate, I didn't felt that much of a difference from the previous sole plate. I previously skated the Chris Farmer Pro model, and yes, was one size bigger than these, but the sole plate felt similar. I also skated this sole plate on different custom setups. It's a sole plate that I really like. I don't think it's the fastest sole plate on the market, especially if you come from a skate like Adapt or something, like even like Razors. They usually have faster sole plates than USD, but I can't really complain about this sole plate. It felt like I could grind fairly easy, like forwards or backwards, which on some skates from USD, when I go backwards after a bit, it gets a bit slower. Backslides and torques, they slided quite good. So the sole plate works really well. It's good also for negatives. The negative space, it's big without being extremely big. And when you look at it, it looks balanced. When you look at the skate, I think it looks really, really good. I know that some people really don't like the color of the sole plate, but I also like what Carlos did here. He did something unique. He used blue with a color that people wouldn't be expecting. It's kind of like a fluor yellow or like a slimy green. I don't really know what this is, but check, the liner is also the same color or similar color to that. I like it. I like what they did there. Now, what I think it's very interesting about these sole plate, it's the way that it connects to the shell. So a lot of the skates on the market, when I try to downsize, I used to have a big problem, which is the UFS receptor stays inside the boot. And I have so little space when I'm trying to downsize that that little piece that stays inside the boot for the UFS bolt to go in, it really becomes annoying. I really feel it underneath. Like example, when I try to downsize on the US, I think it's now God, sorry. The God Steam skate, used to be the USD7. When I try to downsize it, I really feel that aluminum UFS receptor underneath. When I use the Razors, the new Shima 3, is it Shima 3? Yeah, the white ones, yeah, the new Shima 3, I also felt that UFS receptor. On these, I don't, and the reason why I don't feel it, it's because they have the UFS receptor just like on the dam skates, on top of the sole plate, underneath the shell. So the UFS receptor stays in between the shell and the sole plate. Now, that may create a problem, which I didn't have. I heard some people saying that you should always use the UFS receptor inside the boot because you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts, and that could rip the boot apart. It didn't happen to me. It really didn't happen to me, and in terms of comfort, I felt like that extra space that I had from having the UFS receptor between these and these was really good. So I really enjoyed that. Now, going to the shell. The shell, as I said previously, it's a tiny bit short for me. In terms of width, I didn't found it too slim. I know some people say it's like a slim boot, some people say it's like medium. I trying to downsize, I felt like my foot was spot on the right place. It was like snug, but not tight. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, while in terms of length, I really felt like my toes would hit it sometimes. But the biggest problem that I used to have with the USD sways was here in the back. You see this? When there used to be a lot of forward flex, and this thing here was extremely weird. The reason why this happens is, found out the other day, let me try not to lose bolts. This is a mission. To do this without letting anything fall is really a mission, guys. Okay, so, you see, these wings right here, this space is very wide. And also, these wings are not very tall, these pieces that you have here. And what happens is, when you apply forward pressure, these things get together, and by getting together, it makes it that they just do this very easily, okay? They don't really do these that I'm doing right now because your foot is inside, but it's mainly the fact that they get together that allows these extreme forward flex to happen. Also, I think it's something very important. A couple months ago, while developing a product for other brand, I was looking into the location of the cuff bolts. The center of the movement of this inched cuff, which is basically, of course, where the cuff bolt is. And by putting a lot of skates on the side of each other and putting a foot inside, I ended up realizing that the USD Sway is one of the skates that has the I don't even know how to say, like the center of the movement, like that. Let's just say it like the cuff bolt, the closest to your bone where your movement happen. Okay, so these could also be one of the reasons. Most of the skates, they would have the cuff bolt more like here, and that makes it that you don't apply as much pressure on these wings. Now, the sway has the cuff bolt more aligned with your ankle bone, and then the space here in the back is wider. And that's why you actually have extreme forward flex. Now, I need to say it, I felt like I had a lot less forward flex by downsizing. So when I use the skate like this in a smaller size, not as comfortable for my toes, but a bit less forward flex. So I really like the way they felt. I wish I could just cut my toes a little bit because everything else felt really good. In terms of support, I felt supportive while still being able to bend my foot to do like top sides and torques and backslides and all that stuff. So they felt really good. But it's still this thing here. I don't know if this is something they want to fix or if this is something that USD want to keep it this way, because the truth is the USD sway has a completely different feel from any other skate on the market. And I know that people did with them skates, they ended up putting like a little 3D printed adapter or a 3D printed piece in the back that would actually reinforce this area, and that would not allow you to have as much forward flex. So maybe if you look into that, you'll find something for the US this way. What else can I say about these skates? Well, I ended up changing some stuff on these skates and making my own way of customize it. I don't know if this makes sense, but I ended up customizing it in my own way. And the second part of the video that you saw in the beginning of this video, I was using my final construction, and that was basically this. I ended up taking the 45-degree strap. I didn't felt like I would need it. On the last part of the video, I was using the Intuition FR liner, and I regret it. I would completely go back to the second skin because for me, size-wise, would just be better. But by skating this skate without that 45-degree strap, I liked it. I really liked it. I can't say anything wrong about it. Like I didn't felt like I needed it. I actually skated them before with big wheels without it when I skated the Power Slide Zoom, the ones that are similar to the Barbie skates. On those skates, it's a bigger wheel, it's like an 80mm skate, and also doesn't come with a 45-degree strap, and I didn't felt like the need for it. So on a smaller wheel, I would need it even less. So I took it off, kind of like to try to reproduce what the US this way Michael Witzman is going to be. So that's what I did. Also, by trying to reproduce that skate, the Michael Witzman USD skate that is coming out, I ended up trying them with different liners. I tried them with a liner, which is very similar to the one that comes on the Michael Witzman, and that's the MyFit Prime. I tried them with the MyFit Prime, and it didn't felt as good. Now, this is not the same liner as the Michael Witzman skate is going to have, because this tongue is a bit too stiff and too long, and I think that's where he changed the skate. Then I tried it, as I said, also like you have here, with the Intuition FR. I tried it with the Intuition Premiums, and none of these gave me enough space. I even tried a liner that I usually think it's the slimmest liner on the market. This is the Roches RL1 or even the RL2. And even with this, it didn't give me as much space inside the boot as I got with the second skin. By the way, the second skin have this crazy look that you see here. I don't even know it's the name of this. It's gray that changes to rainbow color. I like it, it's just different. But yeah, that's how I end up skating it with this liner, but I wish I just kept the other liner. So that's what I'm going to do when I keep skating this. Then I went and I changed the frames from the Fluid 5s to the Larifari, the Entente frame. So Entente is the company that makes the Diridari, which is the frame that Michael Witzman skate. It's a flat frame. And last year they released this, which is the Larifari frame. It's an anti-rocker with a huge space in the middle. And I got the shorter version, which is 250 millimeters, still a little bit longer than that. But I really enjoyed it. I was skating with 58 millimeters dead wheels, 92A, and with free-letting anti-rockers with bearings. And these really close to perfection. Really, really close to perfection. I, again, would change the liner, would cut my toes a little bit, and I really like it. Now, this skate usually cost 300 bucks. And the USD Sway, when it was first released, was a skate that was costing around the 150, 140. Even last year, there was a team skate released for like low 200s. And to see this skate on the 300 euros or super high 200 mark, it's weird, but it's where things are going, because it's like the shell may be simple, but then they start adding like better wheels, better frames, better liners, and this is all gonna add up. So yeah, use code Lino and you get 20%. So right now this would be 240, 239. That's quite a good deal. What else did I change on these skates? The laces on these skates are a bit short. So the way that they come laced is you have a lace just for the shell, and then you have another lace just for the liner. But I prefer to have one very long lace only that goes through the whole thing, but that's a personal opinion. And yeah, that is it. I would probably love to see these instead of having a blue shell, like with a gray shell. Maybe I'll try to do that, like gray shell with this crazy color sole plate. But that is about it. So, do I like them? Yes, I do. Do I think it's a good skate for everyone out there watching this? Yes. For beginners, it's an amazing skate. It's a skate that will roll good. It's gonna roll smooth. It's gonna allow you to do most grinds. The wheels will last longer because they have good quality. You have a good liner that it's heat moldable. It's a dual-sized skate, so it's, in my opinion, a very good skate and probably one of the best, if not the best USD skate on the market right now. And I believe that in 2024, it's going to be the best-selling skate for USD. Maybe not this model because this is a 2023, but once the Michael Witzman come out, the Farmer skate come out, and whatever next team skate come out, it's an amazing boot that it's very comparable with the other boot that it's very trendy on the market, the Dam skates. And in terms of size, it offers you a different fitting. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed this review and this video, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to support what I do here, you can always become a patron. It's a way for you to support what I do here. I usually post lots of exclusive content for my patrons. I try to include them as much as I can with these reviews by asking them what they want to know about the product. I keep on posting updates about these reviews as I'm testing different things, different frames, different liners, different wheels on the skates. I keep them updated, and if you want to be part of that, well, just check my Patreon. You can try it for a week for free. If you really like it, you keep it. If you don't, it's all good. If you don't want to, or if you can't, just subscribe. That's fully free, and it's a way for you to also support what I do here. Other than that, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you like about this video. If you really don't like it, give me a thumbs down. It's all good. But let me know in the comments what you didn't like. It's important for me to know what you guys think about these videos so I can change what you don't like, or I can keep doing what you guys like about these videos. And like I always say, more important than anything else, I guess you know it, just don't forget why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun now. Cheers, and see you soon. And congratulate me, because up until now, I didn't let any bolt fall. I'll keep you updated if I let while the camera switches off. Cheers. I did it! Oh, let me see one last thing. How heavy are they? Well, stock, kinda. They are very lightweight. 1,709 grams. And the way that I skated mine, with the Intuition liners and with the Larifari frame, they are 1,652 grams. So one of the lightest skates on the market. Now you know.